Good morning. How are you? I am excited about the fact that we are on day 22, guys. 22. 22 days of this 30-day momentum where the goal is for you to end these 30 days with some serious momentum toward accomplishing your goals, your purpose, and your destiny. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Now, we're going to talk a little bit more about setting up business. Now, yesterday we talked about affiliate marketing, becoming an affiliate entrepreneur. And in a lot of ways, that's a lot easier because you're just having to find a product that you like in a booming industry and a business that's on the uprise. Starting your own business can be take a little bit more time and effort, but I personally think it's more fulfilling because you are doing something that's close to your heart. It's using your gifts and your talents. If you're not careful, you can find yourself working on it all day, never tire of it. There's something exciting about using your gifts, your talents, your knowledge to make the lives of other people better. And that has to be your motive, not just a motive to earn money, but it is to provide a service that will change the lives of people, impact their lives in powerful ways. You do that, and the money will follow you. And so it will. So we're going to talk a little bit more about it today. Now, understand this, that part of what I can offer you is the ability to help you to start a business from the very beginning. Now, because you might get a little overwhelmed with all the things that I'm sharing with you, but what I will do is take you step by step on how to start a business, making sure you have all the tools and the things you need to be able to do it well, how to operate a business, how to market your business, and how, when your business has become successful, how to go from there to creating an actual dynasty. I walk you through all of this step by step so you won't be overwhelmed. I'm just wanting you to know in an outline kind of way the things you need to be aware of as we work through this process together if you decide that you want to go through one of the programs that I will offer you on day 30. Uh, but what you want to do what I want to talk to you today is to share with you some things you need to consider. Now, you can either create a job. Your business can be a job, and what that means is that if you're not careful, you can find yourself working more hours in your own business than you did when you worked a 40-hour job. You're working in your business, and that's not freedom. And after a while, it's not even enjoyable. Because how many 16-hour days do you want to put into something that even you love? Or you can develop a kind of business where you're working on your business. You have created a systematic way of doing your business so that it runs like a clock. It runs without you having to manage every single thing all day. I'm going to talk to you a little bit tomorrow about how you do that. Today, I want to talk to you more about what kind of business should you start. If you're not clear, what should you do? And some other things that you will find helpful. So if for those of you who have gone through my Destiny Discover course, you already have some idea of what your business should be about because you're clear on what you've been placed here on earth to accomplish. And I will help you to develop a business, a ministry, a nonprofit, whatever you want around your purpose and destiny. You're kind of clear on what your business will look like. For others, here are some questions you might want to ask yourself. What is it that you're passionate about? What is it that you're excited about? What gifts do you have? What talents do you have? What can you offer to make people make their lives better? What have you learned through some of the challenges that you've overcome that could help other people to overcome challenges in that same arena. You know what I'm saying? So, what is it that you're good at? What is it that you're interested in? Because even if you have a topic that you're not clear on how to do it as a business, you can skill up on that. You can learn how to do that. But you first have to know what is that issue that you want to address. Another question is, what are you angry about? Because sometimes the things that anger you and frustrate you are an indication of something that you've been assigned to change. I remember a story of a mother whose daughter came up missing, and she knew her daughter. She said, I know my daughter hasn't run away. Something has happened to her that she believed that in her gut. But when she went to the police department, they're not going to do anything for 48 hours. And she's thinking my daughter could be dead in 48 hours if she was kidnapped or if something happened to her. And this was before the sex slave industry became as well known as it is now. And so she was frustrated. And even after the 48 hours, she was not getting the kind of support and the help that she wanted. So she had to, on her own, even though she was discouraged not to, she had to figure out on her own clever ways of trying to research and figure out where her daughter was. And when she found out where her daughter was held up, drugged out against her will, she found a very creative way of going into that place and snatching her daughter out of it. Dangerous, but it's amazing what you will do when it's a loved one, right? And so she created a whole organization around for other mothers who were like her and other parents who, like her, found their child missing but didn't find the support that they wanted. So she gave them all kind of things, tips, what she learned, what not to do, how to work with the police department, what to expect, a whole program she developed out of that thing that bothered her, angered her, frustrated her. So, what are you passionate about? What skills do you have? What angers you? What impact can you make on the world? Now, as we talk about the impact, and you share an interest that you might have. Why should anybody care? You might say, "Yep, I have an interest in." Let me get. Oh, so what's a good idea? Um, ah, That's a good idea. Oh, here's one. I have an interest in cooking meals for people. And this is a friend of mine who this happened before it became popular at having meals delivered to your home. But before that was popular, she wanted to develop the kind of thing where she could deliver meals to your home. And the question would be, well, why should I care? Why would anybody care? This was her response. I'm going to focus on those women who are professionals, who are working 40, 50, 60 hours a week. And because of their long hours, they're not able to themselves eat well or provide a quality meal for their family, and they want to. So I'm going to focus on helping women to be able to prepare good, healthy meals so that they will eat well and their family eat well. That's why you should care. I care about your health and I care about you eating well. Isn't that so that was her why behind what she was doing. So you always want to ask, what is it that I want to do and why would anybody care? What impact will it make on the life? People they're not interested in your program. They're not interested in your organization. They're not interested in your product. What they're interested in is the results, the impact. How will my life be made different if I come into your world and I come into your business and your world of expertise? When I come out of it on the other end, how will my life be made different? Results are what people are interested in. And so you want to give some thought about that. And your results can't be vague, like I want to help people increase their self-image. Okay. Okay. How will you be able to measure whether you accomplish that goal? How will increasing a person's self-image make a difference in their life? Can you find something measurable, a concrete outcome that will be the result of you helping someone increase their self-image? You know what I'm saying? I remember again in my younger days, I worked with teenagers, and I really had a heart because I was not an easy child to raise, and so my heart would go out to teenagers that would be problems, cause problems at home and cause problems in school. You know, called troubled teens is what they were called at that time. And so I would say to a teacher or to a counselor, you don't know what these teenagers are dealing with. If I had a sister and a brother who was sitting at home one day, the police kicked in their door, hauled off their mama and their father because they were drug dealers, and carried them off to jail. So now you have two kids that are trying to figure out what are we going to do? How are we going to keep this house? How are we going to eat? Where are we going to live? Are my parents going to be found guilty? Why would they put us at risk by selling drugs in our house? They're going through all of these thoughts. They could care less about math and geometry. And so my premise was that if you help teenagers to deal with the issues, you will help them to be more successful in school. So this was the outcome. And I ran a peer counseling program at that point called 12 Together. And this was the outcome. If I can help young people to deal with their issues, then more of them will graduate from high school. More of them will pass because the highest dropout rate happened between ninth grade and 10th grade. So more of them will pass the ninth grade and more of them will graduate. That was going to be the outcome if my helping to give them coping skills with the various things that they had to deal with. And that program became so successful that it was replicated across the country. It even earned a president point of light. It was acknowledged by the president of the United States. So, and why? Because I was able to take an issue. We don't know how to handle our teens. I was able to develop a program that was effective, and the end results were measurable. I could prove that what I did had an impact. And whatever you do, you want to prove that what you do has a lasting impact on the lives of others. Can you see the value of doing that? You're not just throwing something together. So you want to focus on results. You want to focus on how you're going to do it and how are you going to do it differently? How are you going to do it better than anyone else? Now, peer counseling was not a new concept, but I wrapped an old concept and I wrapped a whole new way of doing it. And because of the way that we did it under 12 Together, because of the way we market, and encourage teenagers to be a part of our program voluntarily, because of the way we ran it, that was part of what made us different and it made us grow. And people are asking me on a regular basis, can you train us on how to do it? School districts were asking me to train them on how to do it. Universities were asking me to come out and train them so they could train others and how to do it. That's what happens when you develop a way of doing what you're doing differently, uniquely, more creative than anyone else has. And when you're looking at purpose and destiny, I'm speaking to you, then God put you here on earth to do something differently. He didn't put you here to do the same thing that everybody else is doing. And when you can tap into that unique focus, that unique blend, that unique approach, then you are positioning yourself to not be easily replaced. The other thing you want to do is you want to specialize. There are sometimes I've seen people open a business and I'll say, well, who's your audience? And they'll say, everybody. I want to serve everybody. Well, if you have that kind of business where you want to serve everybody, in the end, you'll probably serve nobody. The people who earn the most money in business are those who specialize. General practitioners as doctors, they don't get the same amount of money as a doctor who specializes in helping clients deal with cancer. Can you see that? There was a therapist that I discovered, and her specialty was helping lawyers who were alcoholics. Very specialized. You would say, my goodness, are you going to get a lot of clients? Her clientele was full. Judges were often, when they would see a lawyer walk into their court drunk, they would pull them aside and say, look, if you don't go to this program and get help and overcome this, I will report you. So she had many people, and she structured her business in a way where her business was outside of norm. It wasn't in a public place. It was in a private location where people could go and not be embarrassed that I'm a professional having to get help. She understood how to organize, how to set up her business for that particular clientele. The more you specialize, the more money you will earn. And you may have to scale up. You might have to study a little bit, get more knowledge, but it is so worth it. So you want to give some thought to the who, you want to give some thought to the how, and you want to give some thought to the who and the how, the what, the who, and the how. So figure out ways of doing this. And you may find that you might want to have a group of people, like a mastermind group, that help you to develop this. You might want to, oh, I might want to talk to you about that. Because the way most people do masterminds are not the way that it was initially intended. That's going to be a topic, because sometimes having a mastermind group to support your effort is so helpful. We're going to talk about that in one of the sessions coming up. But these are some things you need to consider if you're going to run a long-lasting, solid business that's going to last forever. Can you see that? So there are some other things we're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about how do you automate your business, especially if you're doing one online. What are some tools that every business needs to have? Some businesses that have ran and they haven't been successful is because they have not used these tools. I'm surprised by that. Well, not surprised, because at one point I didn't use them either. So we're going to talk about some tools you need to have. We're going to talk about a variety of things that's going to help you to actually run a successful business. So I hope you found this helpful, enjoyable, thought-provoking. And I am so excited at what we're covering as we move through this journey from moving from destiny to dynasty, and we are doing this together. So I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Again, I want to remind you that if you are watching this on YouTube, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share a comment. I want to know what you think. If you are watching this on Facebook or Facebook Live, Facebook type platform, like it and share a comment. I have some good stuff for you guys. I can't wait till tomorrow to share with you the next tip. So until then, be tremendously blessed.